Lee, welcome to Technical Corners again. I hope you're doing well. We're learning a lot about the Starrag Group, but today we want to focus on automation, flexible manufacturing systems. Now, you've mentioned in previous Technical Corners that Starrag has over 600 FMSs installed worldwide. Now, would you say that you're synonymous with in the industry for high-end solutions? But also, I would imagine automation must be key for these customers using your machines.
Yeah, absolutely, Mark. For us, it's critical that machine spindles are turning. That's what makes profit, and that's what enables our customers to maximise their return on investment. So, automation ensures that components are ready to run, prepared and ready to run around the clock, and that machine shops can run lights out.
Now, I know many machine tool companies do work with third-party integrators for automation systems, but do you actually provide your own systems and manufacture your own systems?
Yes, we do. We have different Starrag automation systems for different machine ranges, and then we also integrate using third-party systems that are available on the market. So these could be tray and gripper-based systems that are inside the machine. They could be overhead gantry systems, pallet storage systems, rail systems, robots, cobots, or whatever systems available and appropriate for that particular customer.
So I would imagine that software is key here. Do you have a specific control system for these FMS systems?
Well, that's a good question, and that depends on the system. So we can either use Starrag's own cell controller, or we can use the relevant software that's provided with a particular automation system if it's supplied by a third party. The important thing, Mark, is to listen to the customer and deliver the right system that suits their requirements. So it's not just about the control of the automation that's important. It's also about the ability to collect information, collect data, store data for the complete system that can even be linked to individual components. So we've got full traceability to each part, and we store that either directly on the system, or it can be stored in the cloud as a record.
And when you look at the different systems that you actually offer, Lee, is there a range of different systems, or can it be bespoke for every customer's need?
Well, there's a number of different options available, Mark, and on the smaller Starrag and Boomatech machines, we have a gripper system where the gripper is stored in the tool disc. It's changed into the spindle and operated from the spindle, so it can load and unload components. And then there's an automatic tray system that comes into the machine, and the gripper loads and unloads in this attitude. For the medium size machines, we can have robots, single robots, robot cells, gantries, pallet systems for single or multiple machines. Then for larger parts, we usually adopt a rail type system to move parts around the shop floor. Can be in and out of different machines, can be into FMS systems or other parts of the process, all automated. And we've now even got automation for 20-meter long pallet EcoSpeed machines where the pallet sits from vertical inside the machine, tips down to horizontal, slides back. A second pallet comes up out of the floor and then loads into the machine. So the machine is constantly running.
Lee, you're talking about all different types of automation, but you recently launched autonomous vehicles. Can you actually use these for solutions on the automation side as well?
Yeah, I mean, we did a short movie with you guys at A&B a couple of years ago on AVs. These can be used to move parts around the shop between machines and CMMs, for example, or they can be used to load, unload tools or for other things as well. Certainly technology I think we'll see more of in the future.
Yeah, I totally agree actually on that. But I mean, engineers actually like to see sort of visual things, but talk me through some recent systems that you've actually built.
Yeah, so Starrag have built lots of systems recently, but one that always caught my eye was a turbine blade system where a robot picks a forging up from a high tower storage unit, like a Cardex unit with revolving shelves. It loads the part into the first fixture, automatically clamps it, and then from there it's sent to one of 7 machines that are all linked by gantry. The system knows which machines have got capacity, which have got enough tool life, etc., and capability. After machining the first operation, the blade comes back into the first robot. It's moved into the second fixture and then subsequently the third fixture. Whilst all this is happening, the robot's doing the same thing for all 7 machines. The parts are then washed, measured, polished, and marked through the system automatically. And in parallel, every machine is running an automatic self-calibration, like a condition monitoring system. And the machines will stop if they measure that they're falling outside the limits themselves. The CMM can also stop if a particular part comes out of process. And what's really critical with all this is the cell controller captures all of this information and movement and stores it against individual components, as I said before, with a unique number. So if you have a component fail in the marketplace, you've got full traceability of the manufacturing process, and you can't produce a non-conforming component.
And we're seeing quite a lot of this in process measurement, in process manufacturing. It's obviously the most cost-effective way to go. Lee, what type of components utilize your automation systems?
Well, I can't honestly think of an industry sector where we've not delivered some form of automation. So you don't always need high volume either, Mark, to justify automation. So for us, it's about spindle utilization, as I mentioned, and process control. And you pay a machine off very quickly if every part's perfect and the spindle never stops. So we deliver automation for small components in the luxury good, medtech sectors, and we go right up through medium and to very large parts in transport and aerospace sectors. Like I said before, components up to 20 meters long.
I mean, I know this is probably a bit of cliche in the marketplace, but I don't think companies can remain competitive without automation. And do you think that you'll be making solutions without automation processes involved for your customers in the future?
We also think companies won't be competitive without automation as well, certainly in the long term. So I think many global companies are embracing automation now anyway. Especially in what we call the lower cost economies. So although there's an upfront cost for investment cost for automation, once the cell's commissioned, it'll run automated, lights out for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And maintenance can be scheduled. The whole process is extremely reliable. So this means really anywhere in the world should be able to compete commercially on the same level playing field using automation, provided, of course, there's no special regional investment incentives.
And I think one final question I'd like to ask you, Lee, is the philosophy of Starrag. You know, a lot of engineers may not know Starrag and think, well, maybe they're not in my price range because they deal with the big OEMs. But that's not the fact, is it?
No, we deal with all sizes of company. And all different sectors and types of components as well. So single machines right through to full automated systems.
And yet again, you know, the philosophy at Starrag, it's engineering precisely what you value. Yet again, education from yourself, Lee. Thanks very much for your time.